Hey guys, it's me, your girl, Dr. Yaz here, your host of Yazcast Podcast. Thank you so much for tuning in to today's show. I'm so happy to have you here where we're going to talk faith, funding, and freedom. Today's guest, guys, I have for you the one and only amazing individual. He is a real estate broker. He's also an investor, okay? He has a big vision, okay? And he has all of the leadership skills. So before we jump into it, guys, I want to take a moment to introduce you to this special person today. Mr. Conroy Johnson. Welcome, Mr. Conroy C.J. Johnson. Can I call you C.J.? Can I call you CJ? Thank you. Today's conversation, guys, it is going to be fun but informative, okay? Fun but informative. Before we talk about the deals, the doors, and the equity, I want to first talk about the word or the scripture that comes to mind when I think of CJ, guys. And it is, I know you guys know this one, Deuteronomy 8:18. And it says that God is the one who gives us the power to build wealth. And that's certainly what Mr. CJ here has been doing, okay? So we're going to talk about how the power actually becomes the strategy, how it became the strategy for you, CJ, to start acquiring and obtaining ownership. Let's talk about that today before we jump into the doors and the equity.
Jazz.
Start from the beginning.
Where do I start?
Start from the beginning. Tell us who you were before the big brand Conroy Johnson Real Estate. As we know, I'll let you introduce the next phase. But tell us, who you are, where you're from before this big brand that you've built.
So, guys, this started, I was 10 years old.
Mm-hmm.
I was 10 years old, living in Jamaica, ready to migrate to America. And I said to my grandmother, I said, I can't wait to get to America so I could be my own boss.
Yes.
And as a 10-year-old child, I am walking in that vision today. So, I mean, for a 10-year-old vision, it's just amazing to see the journey along where I am today. In 2008, I packed up my car and I moved to Georgia.
Boldly. Just packed
when
up.
When I tell you I packed up my car, I was like, I am packing everything that could fit in this car because I'm not coming back to Connecticut.
And where did you move from? Oh, Connecticut.
I moved from Connecticut. And I said, I'll make sure everything fits in this car. And I packed this car up and I drove all the way down to Georgia.
In 2008.
In 2008, and it's been the best decision I've ever made in my life because when I moved to Georgia, life started.
Yeah. So what led you to do that? How did you, know that was your calling? What led you to do that? Was it the spirit?
So,
or were you just tired of the cold weather in Connecticut?
I had an aunt that lives here. And,
okay.
The plan that me and my best friend had was once we finished college, we was gonna move to Georgia.
Okay.
And and we started planning. And I had an aunt that lives here, and she said something to me one day. It's like she wanted to open up a barbershop and a salon. And she was like my favorite aunt, so I used to we talk every day. And I said to her, I said, how about if I move to Georgia and go to hair school and we could open the business together.
Wow.
And I planned the day. I remember I called her back and I said, well, I'm moving down on June 27, 2008. And this was in January. And I moved the exact same day.
Wow.
That I said I was going to move June 27, 2008. I packed my car up and moved to Georgia.
That is amazing. That took a lot of a lot of courage, to just pick up and leave right fresh out of college. And real estate wasn't even on the radar
No.
yet. It wasn't on the radar yet. It was just the idea of doing, like you said, the barber shop, right?
Yes.
Am I correct? Okay, awesome.
One thing was that I've always been the person who um, follow God.
Yeah.
And I remember right before I leave, I went and got my car serviced. And there's this man that looked at me and he said, "Son, take your journey." And this man doesn't know me. We never have a conversation before. Then he looked at me and he said, "By the way, where are you going?" I said, "I'm moving to Georgia." He said, "Georgia will be home."
Wow.
It would, everything that you want to do in Georgia, it's gonna happen. And when I tell you, I was like, God, it's definitely a good move for me. And I promise you, this man is lingering in my head every day because he really gave me that motivation to be like, you know what? Because I was nervous.
Oh, for sure.
I was nervous. At 23 years old,
Yeah.
you're moving to a new state. It's
and starting
definitely-
over, and
Yeah.
yes, absolutely, I get it. I kind of did the same thing too. Moved out of state right after college, but I think it has a lot to do with, like, where you come from and where you're at. Sometimes you want to escape that. You
Yes.
want to go and see. When God places something inside of you, you act on it.
Correct.
So while you had that fear, it was still something you knew that you had to do
I had
because
to
you
do,
wanted
yes,
to do
yeah.
it. So, that was very brave of you. So tell us a little bit more about who you were before the brand, and then we're going to get into your brand because your brand is so huge. I mean, guys, like, he does everything. I'm going to let him tell you, but just tell me a little bit who you were before you became this big, real estate icon.
Okay. I was the barber, the hairstylist. I've been in the industry since 2008. So that's pretty much where I was doing before, real estate happens. So you name it, anything in the hair industry, that was me. I was the guy that comes to get your hair cut, to get your hair fixed. So
And that's a big industry too.
yes, and it's been a wonderful, wonderful journey in this industry for me.
That's amazing. So you've always kind of been somewhat of an entrepreneur.
I've
then,
always
because
been an
even as
entrepreneur,
a
yes.
barber or a hairstylist, you're still, you're working for yourself.
Honestly, I
you're
never-
your own boss,
Yeah.
like you said. What you came here for, to be your own boss.
Be my own boss. I've never been the person to punch a clock. I've never been the person. Even if I do punch a clock, I'm always trying to figure out ways, always do entrepreneurship on the side. So for me, entrepreneurs start at a very, very, very young age because when I first started my first business, I was 12 years old.
See? So it was
So-
already in you.
I was already.
It was in you to be
You
that
know?
boss, It was something that you always wanted to do, and you certainly are the big boss right now, okay? So what are some obstacles? I know on this journey of you becoming this big real estate, icon, there must have been some obstacles on your journey. What no helped shape your purpose did you ever get in life? What no did you get that helped shape you to be on this journey right now?
Oh my God, there's so many no's.
Don't we get them but it's like you got to keep going, let them roll
But
off, right?
Honestly, I love the no's because I'm always trying to challenge myself. When you said no, I'm going to prove a point. So when the no's comes, I'm telling you, it just something just react in my head like, okay, I'm gonna prove that point. So I'm gonna make sure.
It's almost like you're not accepting no for the
no,
answer.
no. My grandmother
Yeah.
always said, if you can't go to the door, you go through a window, or if you gotta go on top of the roof, but you're gonna get in somehow.
Exactly.
So I've always, I've always been that person, who's always trying to figure out a way to make sure whatever I'm trying to do, I get it done.
Yeah, I'm kind of like that too. But certainly some no's can still steer you on, your God-given journey,
Yes,
your
I-
path.
I remember when the major know that I wanted to do real estate in 2017. I wanted to do real estate investing, and I paid someone to coach me into real estate investing. And the whole time I was paying them, they did not want to give me the resources. And I said to them, what am I paying you for? And so I had to go out and get the resources myself and then come back and said, you know what? You're telling me that you're not giving me something that I'm paid for. So that was one of the biggest no, because I want to prove that point that I am going to get in real estate investing and I'm going to master it. And I did.
You have.
And they looked back at me and said, you know what?
Yeah.
You
See, we don't do that here. We don't gatekeep here. We provide you with real resources and actionable steps that you can take to start building your wealth through real estate, guys. And I hate that you had to experience that when you first arrived here in Atlanta. But, like you said, it worked out for you in your favor.
Yes, definitely works out for me because I got the resources on my own.
Exactly.
And I was able to brand on it and build on it.
Exactly.
And become a real estate mogul.
So, what have you ever had to heal from or unlearn? That's a good one. Something that you had to heal from or just unlearn.
I have to heal from walking away from people. That sometimes, we so stuck in the area where you think that, oh, I don't want to leave that person behind, and this person's been on the journey for a long time. But what I've learned is to move, and not everybody's meant to be on this journey for where you're trying to go, because some people are there for that moment.
Yes.
And I'm that person where it was hard for me because I still believe that person, I want them on the journey, but that was their stop. And I have to continue to move forward and move on without them. So that was hard.
And that can be hard.
That can be very hard.
That can be very hard, but that lesson could be so hard to learn that if you don't learn it and you don't do that, okay, and remove yourself from certain people, places, and things, it can certainly delay your success journey. So I like that how you said that and you brought that up, because I struggle with that sometimes too, and everybody can't go. Everybody can't go.
It's not a bad thing leaving people behind.
It's not a bad thing. Like you said, they serve their purpose, in your book. Because our lives are like a book, they're chapters, and just like in a movie, every character doesn't make it
only one
to the end. Some of them are what they call it, a cameo.
It's all about so many stars.
Exactly. And we don't say that in a malicious way or anything like that, but it's definitely something you have to understand and grow, because sometimes, like I said, it will hold you back. So moving right along, when did you realize you were called to something higher? Was it when that man told you at that gas station driving to Georgia? When did you know that, being that little boy in Jamaica, on the island of Jamaica, when did you know, like?
I think that for me, it was the moment when I stepped on that airplane. And
Had you ever been on a plane before?
No, that was my first time. And that airplane took me from Jamaica to America. And I said, wow, there is another place.
Yeah.
And ever since then, I said, you know what, Lord, I think that there's something greater for me.
Yes.
And
that was it.
That was it.
That's big.
I mean, as a 10-year-old child, that was major to be like, okay, I'm in America, now this is different.
And I'm on a plane, okay? Absolutely. So let me ask you this. What was your hardest no? Can you remember your hardest no you got in life? Can you remember that? Something that you wanted, something like with the real estate. Was there any other thing in life that you can remember that was just really hard for you to accept and no was the answer?
Yeah, I have several moments where no was a big factor for me. And one of the hardest one for me was, when I wanted to open up my own barbershop and salon, and I wanted to get this location that I wanted, and and they said no, they didn't want a barbershop and salon, and I was like, wow, I that was the location that I had everything planned for that.
Wow.
And when I
You
spoke
had
to
the
them,
whole vision.
yeah, I spoke to them at first. They was like, yeah, we're gonna give you the space, and then turn around. It's like, no, we don't want. So it's like now I got to start all over again. And it works out because I was able to not just open, but I opened right next door to the next plaza over. So which works out even better for me. So that no was hard at first,
Yes.
but then I said, I'm gonna continue, and guess what? I continue, and that led me to where I am today. Since 2017, I've been in this location.
Wow.
So, and it's been a blessing. So,
And those people that told you no that next door, they
next
still
door,
see you.
they see
still
me
see
there.
you.
So, sometimes them
I
no's is hard at first.
I know they wish they would have said yes for that long tenant, right? So let me ask you a question, CJ. I know that you are a businessman. You own a salon suites. What's the name of your salon suite?
It's called Grayson Suites.
Grayson Suites, Salon
Yes.
Suites, Grayson Suites. I don't know how many times investor you are. I know I've done a couple of deals with you,
Yes.
sold you a few deals. But you're on the Yazcast podcast, okay? Where we talk about building wealth beyond borders. So if I were to ask you, what is your dream investment destination?
My dream.
I mean, you're from Jamaica.
So
people want to
definitely,
invest
it would
in
be
Jamaica.
It would definitely be Jamaica.
Yeah.
Especially going back to Jamaica and do some development project. For my country and for my people. So
Yeah.
definitely that would be a dream for me.
To own your own like Airbnbs, their investment opportunities, or
Yeah,
even
on my little
businesses,
island in Jamaica.
or
so
even that. Hey, we got an island for
y'all
sale
put,
for
y'all
you
put it in
too.
the atmosphere.
So, what's a business lesson that you learned the hard way? I know there must be many. All
I've
the
learned
businesses
so
you
many
have.
lessons.
Yes.
But I can say is, don't give up. No matter what it is, you got to keep moving forward. Because God is only going to give you what you work for, what you prayed for. So you got to keep motivating yourself, reinventing yourself. Never stop believing. So life gets hard sometimes, but no matter what happened, you always put faith first and move forward. And that's one of my biggest things. I tell everyone, I said, you know what? Faith is the foundation for me.
Yeah.
And everything else, I just be consistent.
Yeah.
Because
you
know
are.
what?
You're very consistent in your tenacity, and you just keep going. Every time I
You have
talk
to.
to you, you're doing something else. It's the salon suite. Now you have your own brokerage.
Yes.
Let's talk about that. What's the name of your new brokerage?
The Atelier Group.
The Atelier Group. Did you hear that?
Yes, finally.
Tell us about the Atelier Group.
Well, the Atelier Group
What was
is-
that journey like?
Oh, God, this journey has been amazing. 4 years in real estate and launch my own real estate brokerage is
Amazing accomplishment.
really amazing.
Yeah.
I came in real estate and I've been top 5% producer. And that is hard.
In 4 years.
In 4 years.
Yeah, not 10, 8, 7, but in 4 years.
I was a top producer every single year.
That's amazing. Congratulations
Thank
to
you.
you on your new brokerage, Atelier Group.
Yes, at the Atelier.
The Atelier, excuse me, y'all see
Yeah.
it?
Oh, she came prepared.
I came prepared to share. The Atelier Group.
Okay, yeah. Welcome to the team.
Thank you. So let's give our audience a money rule that you live by, something to help them, on their journey. What's a money rule that you live by, throughout your success journey with your businesses, building your brokerage, and being a top 5% producer? You must have a money rule that you live by. Can you share that with us today?
So, see, I'm a planner. I write everything down. And I always said to myself, like, okay, you have to strategize. So if you're trying to get somewhere, you have to know how to pivot back and cut your costs. You can't be out every day spending money that doesn't need to be spending. So I tell people, I said, you know what? Always make sure you get your finance in order, and it goes a long way when you do get your
Yes.
finance in order, because there's a lot of
Yes.
people that want the success, but they don't know how to
That
scale back and be like,
foundation,
okay, I don't
yeah.
need to be in the club tonight because that $20, that $50, that can help me to plan for what I'm planning for.
Right.
So I said, be mindful of how you spend your dollars, because starting a business or doing anything that you're trying to build, it costs,
It does.
and you have to discipline yourself
Right.
and be
Right.
consistent. So that's one of my main things that I stand by when you're trying to build, especially trying to build wealth in the industry where you need your finance. You definitely need
So
that.
when you say write things down, you stick to a pretty strict budget.
I do.
Yeah.
I write everything down.
Yeah.
Everything that I do, I want to make sure that this is my budget for the week.
Yeah.
This is my budget for the month, and I make sure that when I do pay myself, that I have to wait for another paycheck. So I can't just go into and use money that's not for something
that.
else.
That's very important.
know?
That is very, very important to allocate your funds, guys, when building wealth, because $20, $50, may not sound like a lot to you, but if you keep doing that over time,
Yeah.
$20 out of that 100, now you're down to 80. It multiplies. That's what money does, guys. But we need it to multiply in equity the other way for us. Okay. So I'm going to give you 3 words. You tell me
Okay.
what they equal to. Freedom equals.
Freedom, living life on my own terms
Yes.
with purpose.
Amen. I love it. Faith equals.
Faith is a foundation that I walked on.
That is good. And wealth equals.
Wealth is the stability and that it gives to live the life that you were put on this earth to live.
Exactly. Exactly. I couldn't agree with you more on that one. So I want to give a message to someone that might be listening today before we wrap up. And we like to call it here at the Yazcast podcast a kingdom key, okay? So we want to leave a kingdom key for our audience today. Can you give them some words of encouragement who may be listening today?
What I want to say is that no matter what the obstacle is, no matter what situation you're going through, always put faith first. Never give up. Always, 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 because I'm a true believer that when you put God first, when you put Him first,
You can't quit.
you can't. So just continue to move forward, and everything's gonna be okay.
I couldn't agree with you more. So, Mr. CJ, where can my listeners find you? Where can they find the Atelier Group at? Anyone interested in more information on your new brokerage or even your salon suites?
Well, they can find me at Conroy Johnson Real Estate, and also they can find me at GraysonSuites.com.
Thank you so much for joining us today, Mr. CJ Johnson, the one and only real estate icon here in Atlanta, soon to be global investor.
Yes, definitely.
Definitely, soon
and-
to be global investor and
Bring
developer.
you a gift.
And he says he has a gift for me. Guys, let's see what he's got for me. Oh, thank you so much. Look at that. Say it again for me.
The Atelier.
The Atelier.
The Atelier Group.
Is it French?
It's French.
Okay, see, I got to get my French on. The Atelier Group, curations of fine homes. Guys, y'all make sure y'all follow Mr. CJ on all social media handles and get in touch with him. Guys, that's going to wrap it up for today's show. It was absolutely amazing. Your girl Yaz here of the Yazcast podcast, where we talk faith, funding, and freedom. Remember today's message, guys. You must keep the faith, as CJ told us. It is the foundation to your success. See you on the next show. Make sure you click that button, subscribe, share, and follow.